Watching you do it.
Okay, and so you will retain 15% of this little seminar too, right? This will all get posted, but yeah, I think that's a good point. If you're changing it after you've aligned it, you may be actually moving it out of alignment again. And use your back button. You can get back to where you began, then change the font and align it up again. And you'll be certain every time at that point. Okay? All right. All right, so our shortcuts primarily here are lining up to the pgram Dunn files, because again, this is quick. So if you've got a pen and you've got the name on the head of the pen, but they want a little horsey or something like that, leave the name there first, bring the horse in, make sure you size it so it's going to fit, but then align it to the name. Okay? Use what we have already given you for your alignment rather than deleting things and then trying to figure out where it should go and then going over your machine and checking it with the red light and that type of thing. If the file is aligned to begin with, then whatever you line up over that is going to be lined up. And I use this a lot because it is so much safer to take a keychain and just line up maybe a little clip art over the words and then delete the words. And I know then that that clip art is lined up rather than deleting everything to begin with, putting the clip art on there and then trying to figure out if it is lined up. Because then you're spending time going back and forth to your laser checking your alignment. So line up to the pgram Dunn files. Use your rulers for line of sight. Here, let me just show you that real quick. Okay, back here in the program. We've all noticed that there are rulers at the top and sides of the program, I think. We've all noticed. If we haven't, we've noticed now. What you can actually do with that is you can click and drag on your ruler and you can bring that line down. So, you know, I could bring that in there and then bring this over this way, and you know, you can basically use that for line of sight to line something up. If you know, let me give you an example. Let's say you're working on a pen and you know that if you go above the top edge of the text, you're going to end up pushing the pen out of the way. Have we experienced that? Okay. Number one call-in is pens getting pushed out of the way, because if the text is just a little too high, when the machine focuses on it, it'll actually slide off the edge of the pen and push it off to the side. But if you wanted to change out some clip art on a pen and you wanted to do it quickly and with accuracy, actually, let me see if I can open up a pen file just as an example, okay? Maybe. Okay, who knows the pen file number off the top of their head?
Oh, yeah.
I do. Okay, so here we've got a pen. Pretty simple, but deceptively difficult, right? Okay. Well, if we know that Stuart Martin is going to engrave just fine on this pen, we know that because we've engraved it. Okay. Well, if I want to change out Stuart Martin and put some sort of clip art on there, I could grab my ruler and bring that down, and see I'm at the top of the text there, and if I want to make sure I'm lined up at the bottom, I could do that, and then I could go to my symbol library and pick the horse I want to put on there, and obviously the horse is too big, right? But if I shrink that horse down and it fits between those lines, it's gonna engrave fine on the pen, and I did it quickly. Okay, so if I want to line this up where Stuart Martin is, I could use Stuart as the anchor, select the horse, and then use my alignment tools to line it up, and then we'll get rid of Stuart Martin, and now I've got a horse on the head of the pen, and we know it's gonna fit. It's not gonna push the pen out of the way. Did I lose anyone? Did I lose everyone? So grabbing your rulers, you can get a quick line of sight. And you know what we've done at fairs and trade shows from time to time when we want to drop in clip art. We'll print off like maybe a page of a dozen clip art pieces that we have ready and available to use. But what we'll do is we'll take this file here and we'll add some spaces to the end of a Martin, and we'll bring that horse over. And once we get the first one set up, we just bring our rulers over and we just make a little box. So if I know that horse fits, then anything I put in that box is going to fit, correct? There's logic, right? So I can get rid of that horse, and I can go to my symbol library, and I can grab a duck. and of course it's too big, so I can make it small enough to fit in that space. Okay, it's a chicken, right? I heard you. Make sense? Quick to do? So we don't have to go back and check on our machine and run it with a red light. You can just use those guidelines to quickly drop items in there. And if you're a perfectionist, you would still use your alignment tools. Select Martin first, use your alignment tools, and then use your horizontal alignment to make sure that your chicken's lined up okay. Yes?
Okay, that works on a pin, but what if you're doing a knife that
There's
working
pins
at a curve?
Yeah.
How do you do it when you're adding?
You've got to test one. I mean, you've got to maybe measure it. Maybe we can talk after class. Right? Bring me an apple and I will show you. Yeah, you can use the same concept, and we have done that at trade shows and fairs and that type of thing, where we'll line it up with these rulers, and we'll make sure that we give ourselves a little extra space around those pins on the pen or on the knives. We've all seen the pocket knives. There's actually little pins on them, and your engraving actually, we arc it to sometimes go above one and below the next one type thing. So there is not a lot of room on those knives for extra art, but some knives will have some space for it, and those are the ones that I would use. So it does, just because we have the rulers doesn't mean you can fit anything on anything. It still has to, the item actually has to have some space to put the art on it. Okay, so using rulers, again, pretty simple to do, and again, it's a time saver. And of course, once you are all done with that, save them and reuse them. You know, maybe that pen that I just did, I could save that and I could call that my fair pen or something like that, or my clip art pen, and that's the one I'd open up to drop in some clip art or logos or what have you that you might put on that pen.
How do you do that?
How to save?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got my file here. Let's say this is my new layout for doing clip art on pens. Okay, I would just hit File, Save As, because we can't save over top of the existing file. So I'll save as, and I actually made a folder in my laser files folder called Special Order. I've got one called Pen and Pen Sets, and we'll call that my clip art pen. And we'll save that. And now I can bring that up, and I don't have to go through and double check my rulers or anything like that. Everything should be lined up and good to go. Okay? So those are, again, it's just time management. It's how to do this quickly, okay? This next section I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on it, but if you are rusty on this and you would like to go over it more in depth, I'm going to have Alex work with you on the laser in the other room at any time over the next couple days. And of course, my T is cut off. I'm going to figure that out. It's perfect on my screen. Okay, fixing a file that's out of alignment, like that would ever happen, right? Okay, it should be a rare occurrence. And if it's not, make sure that you're updating your files on a regular basis, okay?
How do you do that?
I will go over that in just a little bit. And this is to fix your out of alignment file. This is to do it quickly for your customer that's standing there in front of you. This is not about any long-term fix, because we would prefer that you tell us so that we fix it for everyone.